I've just been given a peek into the world of the Dark Eye, or the Schwarze Auge. Did I get that right?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. The new Demonicon game that's in development, an action RPG. What would you say is it about because everyone isn't aware of the Schwarze Auge is a very big thing in Germany, but
Yes.
if you'd like to introduce that world, what is it about it that's interesting and interesting to make an RPG?
It's a very interesting RPG because it's one of the oldest role-playing games, fantasy role-playing games, like created in the 80s. You have a very huge community building a living world. You have, like in every detail, it's described. It has an history. There's hundreds of thousands playing that game. So it's one of the hugest and most beautifully described world you can play.
And what's the setting and story in this game, and what's going on, and what's the player in for?
Yeah, we've chosen the darkest place of Aventuria, the continent of the Dark Eye. It's called the Shadowlands. Can compare the Shadowlands a bit to Mordor, a very dark and grim place, but demons and undead lords roam through this place. And you play a fugitive family, you can see here. That is a guy you are playing. He's called Chiron. That is his sister. That is the father.
And you seem pretty well off, though, sort of like almost like gods in this image.
Yeah, that is quite some kind of iconography we've chosen because the main themes are demons. It's about demonic temptation. It's about magic and the power of the human will, symbolized by this lady, who has a very important role in the course of the story. And it's the role of the balance between evil here and the balance of good by this paladin, symbolized by this paladin. So the both characters have to find their way through demonic temptation to save their soul against the demonic forces who try to corrupt them, and they have to make very tough choices in the course of the game, Chiron, to save his sister, to save himself.
But I understand you're not really going with the sort of dark side, light side alternatives. It's more of a bad or worse or bad kind of choices that you're making.
Not exactly. Each choice you make has a good side and a bad side. It's we think that being a hero is about making tough choices. It would be too easy to make everybody happy. Reality isn't like that. For instance, in the beginning of the game, you have to choose if you want to kill or spare a cannibal. Normally you would say kill him so he wouldn't do any bad things again, but it isn't as easy in that game because if you kill him, you'll also kill his hostages because they are bound to him by blood magic. If you spare him, his hostages survive, but you don't know if he will kill again. And you can directly see the consequences of the choices you made in the game. And there are always good and bad things about your decisions. It's up to you to decide what is morally acceptable for you. Every player has to make this decision for himself.
So it seems like the story has been really sort of the focus point for you guys. Yeah. But what's the sort of the RPG core of the game? Because there's a lot of depth into character progression and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, we adapted the rule mechanics of the Dark Eye. That it is a very rich rule set. So you have a lot of different skills. You have special combos. We've chosen the most important one that work well within a video game, like different combo attacks, 16 different combo attacks, 16 spells you can use, you can improve on, and you have a lot of crafting options like making your own potions, upgrading your weapons, and specializing your character in the course of the game. So it's plenty of stuff for role-playing fans, but it's still more accessible than the pen and paper role-playing game we adapted.
So is there a linear progression, or is it more of an open world setting, or how do you treat that?
It's linear on one side, but by the decisions you make, you see different things each time you play it. For instance, if you spare the cannibal later on, you can meet him again. And there is a side quest with different outcomes based on your decisions, so you will live another story. and you will have different endings too on the choices you make.
And what would you say it is about this place? Because it seems like a pretty harsh place to live in. What's the world like that we're getting to experience here? And I know there's cities and that sort of thing as well.
I will go to a lot of different places. Will be in very dark dungeons, of course, but you will go to a swamp where people have lost all hope and are praying to the demons now. It's like 30 years ago in the game, it was a normal place, but then came demonic forces and just invaded, and now it's like people have lost all hope in some places. You will go to a monastery where very elitistic evil order is plotting to gain power over the world, but they aren't evil necromancers in black. They're all in white, and it's like absolute purity and beauty. It's beauty and evil, if you want so. And the city of Varung, where you come in the early game, it's a free city, the only free city in this world. And but you come there as a fugitive, and there is a plague, there is starvation in the place you are, and you have to get some food, and people want you to share. You have to fight to survive in this place.
And when's it coming out, and where are you at in development right now, and what's left to do?
Oh, we are in alpha status now, and we have all the skills in the game. We have the story written, we have the parts of dialogue recorded. Now there is still a bit to do, but we are very optimistic that the game is ready to be released in May, June of next year.
On PC, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much for your time.
It was a pleasure. Thanks.